Greetings, YouTubers. Well, let's do it to it. Let's fix something else and bring it to the channel. This is a 2004 Acura, and it's got a headlight problem on this side. The low beam on this side is burned out. The high beam are fine. It's just getting these headlights bulbs replaced. Well, you may see some words off camera that you probably don't want to put on camera, and what we got to do is somehow get this bulb, $80 bulb. You believe this? What they pay for these things? Pretty expensive. Basically, this thing here, HID, and we got to replace it on the front here. Let me just turn the lights on real quick here so you can kind of see what's going on. Kind of rainy out here today, and you can see that one there. That is the low beam. That one works, but this side does not work. Somehow got to get our hands back in here and get this out. Now, if you want to do it the hard way, which I hope I don't have to, the only way you can get this whole assembly out of here is take this whole cover off, and you can get in here, and there's some bolts up here and a couple on the bottom down here that you take off, and you pull this whole assembly out if you ever have to do that. But some people will go up under here and we'll take this plastic cover off, and gives you a little more excess up into this. But I think on this side will be okay. Let me check this side over here. So I'm hoping my hands will get down here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this back cover off. And I don't want to unhook the battery cable because it messes up the electronics and the window regulators and all that. So I want to kind of see if I can do that without unhooking the battery. So let me see what we can get into here. Alright, we'll start by just pulling this battery cable wire out of the way. And on the back here, there's a cover. And I do believe there's supposed to be a screw there that's missing. So if I just turn this, let's see, counterclockwise, this thing will come off. Alright, so there's that. And let's see. Yeah, there was supposed to be a little screw there, so if you have to take that off, just make sure all that you don't lose it. So I may have to find one, put in there. And high voltage. All right, so there's that. Now we've got to get this piece out in the back here. All right, so the next thing I got to do is get this unhooked here. I got to turn this or just pull straight out on it. It should come off. This is the back of the connector that goes on the light. And there it is. Kind of a fancy deal. And give you a nice look at it there. Got the ground wire and all that. So we'll put this back out of the way. And now we got to get the bulb out. And if you're a little confused, best thing to do is get your new bulb here like this. And make sure you don't have any grease on your fingers and don't touch the light itself. And kind of look at the back of it and all that. So $80 there. Wow. So we'll go ahead and see if we can turn this and get it out without breaking it. So let's see if I can get my fingers in here. Alright, so what I have to do next, I have to unhook that little hook right there on the top that holds that light in. I'm just going to take a little screwdriver. You can see them up on the top there. It's just a little wire that holds that entire light in. And I'm trying to get the light just right for you there. See it up on the right hand side? I'm going to take my screwdriver here. So I get the camera set up. Kind of go in there and catch them, pull it that way, and let it drop down. And I should be able to get that light, pull it straight out. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. Alright guys, after about 10 minutes, finally got it released. Jeez. Now, just let that hook kind of fall down in place. Pull the light straight out, straight back. Don't turn it. That way you'll have a reference with the new one here where it goes. So this one here, the two little cut places here, well, they go straight up and down on the top. So when I put the new one in, it goes in like this. And it looks like this one is burnt. I think it's pretty messed up. Now, I don't know if I can show you this clip right here. Well, actually, you know what? Let me grab the camera here, because if I hold this camera like this, you can see it now. See that right there? This little thing moves up and down right here. This little thing, this is what you got to release. You got to pull like sideways on them. They're like little ears, and that's the only thing that holds that light in. So I don't know. Well, I hope you can see that there, guys. But all right, so that's out. Let's go ahead and stick the new one in, and hopefully this video will help you out. Hey, let me know where you're watching from right now. All right. So I guess on some cars you can take the fender off and get you better access. On this one you don't. So, but you got to have some patience. Now I could take all this cleaner stuff out of the way and have better access in here. So you could probably do that. All right. So here's the new one. I'm gonna not touch it. And there's my little marks on the top, and we got to go straight in with it like this. And there's actually a little nipple right here. Once you get that in there, it kind of helps you guide that on there in there too. And all right, let's go ahead and see how it goes. It's Monday. Maybe I should have waited until Tuesday to do this. I don't know. I'm not superstitious. All right, so looks like it's in. All right, so that is in. That little clip is nerve-wracking, but once you get that in there, you're good. Now, I did learn the best thing you do, there's a little nipple on the housing. Make sure that nipple slides right about there. There's a little place right there cut in for that nipple, and you can actually see it in there, and you'll realize that it's seated in there and all that. So all right, so let's go ahead and put it back together here. All right, maybe you can kind of see it there, how it's set in there. So it's in. I double checked everything, make sure it's in before I put it all back together. All right, so we got to get this high voltage wire. Well, they call it high voltage, but it's probably some volts going through that. Now we got to kind of just set it on here like this. It should go in there fairly easy, and it clipped on there. It sets in there nice and firm, and we're good. So all I got to do now is hunt up a small bolt and put on here. This is probably a 5.5 mil. Little tiny one. We'll stick something on there. The seal's good, looks pretty good, so I think we'll be okay. So hopefully this will help you guys out. All right, let's put that over there and turn the lights on. I probably should test them before I turn that put that on there. Probably should have tested them first. Hope they work. All right, there's low and high. Well, that one's not working, huh? So, did you think we was going to get off that easy in doing this job? No, of course, things have got to get more difficult. So what we're going to have to do here is order this, well, this thing here bolts on the bottom of the headlight. We're going to have to pull the whole headlight assembly out. This is a ballast and igniter, and on eBay you get a bulb with it, and these are $41. Pretty common for these things to go out. I turn the lights on. Sometimes it'll come on, sometimes it'll go off, it comes back on. The right side is fine, so this here will bolt to either side, and you can see it looks like it's fairly easy to put in, and you get all these cool stuff with it. So we've ordered this. Should be here in a couple of days, but yeah, I figured it was too easy. It couldn't be just a bulb, but it looks like for the most part, we'll get this when it comes in. We'll put it in and continue with this job. And as Forrest Gump said in his movie, Mama said there'd be days like this. Sometimes when you think things are just simple to fix, well, sometimes you get into it a little deeper than you want to get. But anyway, we get a new bulb with it for 40 bucks. Nice. Heck, the one at the auto parts store didn't even have the protector on it. And here's what we're going to replace. So, you know, high voltage and all that. So, pretty simple. And I'd like to unplug this plug here somehow and just hook this up first before I pull the bumper off, plastic cover, and see if it works. But I don't think there's a way I'm going to be able to, because this bolts like this, and this looks like it's on the top, so, or like this, yeah. So I don't think I can get my fingers under there. But anyway, there we go. There's $40, which actually is a pretty daggone good deal. So after putting that new bulb in and having really a lot of trouble getting the headlight to come on, I'll show you what it's doing. There we got the headlights on. There's high beam. Now you can see on that side over there, the low beam works, but this side, it just works intermittent. So hopefully we'll take care of that. Alright, as you can see here, this front bumper cover, it's been through the ringer. It's actually got some screws in it. It's not supposed to be, and a bunch of zip ties. So you'll just have to check and see how yours is held on. It's probably going to be the same way. But if not, you got a bunch of screws you got to take out in here. And I got one of them. Try to get it out there, but there's some of the stuff you're going to have to get into. So it looks like most of this is going to go back on with the zip ties anyway. So anyway, we got this down far enough, so I think we can go ahead and get this headlight out. So we got a couple of pieces here to take out. We got some bolts here. We got one there and one down there. And eventually we can get this straight out like that. So if you can get this one side of your plastic cover fascia here down, then you could probably get one of your headlights out and replace this high voltage unit. Alright, so we get this cover here. We just took some of these push-pull pins out, and half of them are messed up anyway. We just got something here, a piece of wood to hold that up, because we take that bolt out there on the top. That's the main one, and a couple here on the bottom. We should be able to get this out. We'll probably have to mess around with that a little bit, but we should be able to get this out. Alright, so we got this one here out, this little 10mm, and my challenge for today, or my competition, is to find out how many 10mm sockets I can lose, because we got one right there we got to take out, and I've already dropped one of my sockets, and I had to go fish out another one. Luckily I had a backup socket, so my other 10mm, well, it's down in there somewhere. We may never find it. And here comes our bolt out of this thing. I don't know if I can grab it without dropping it. Alright, so there's that one, and it's about ready to come out of here. So there's the unit we got to replace on the bottom of it there. So get a couple more screws out on the top. Here's our top one, and if you can pick up one of these good cars, you know, these cars are run really good, last you forever. So people are still driving these, and hopefully, you know, if you're watching this video, your car's still going and you just want to keep it on the road and save a lot of money. So that's out. And it should pull straight out, hopefully. I'm sure there's something somewhere else hiding, of course. Right there, wouldn't you know that? There's a bolt there. Alright, that's a funny looking one. Screw. Now, will this come straight out? There we go. Good. Alright. Of course, we're hung up on something. Are you kidding me? Come on, what's hanging? There, oh, this on the back. There we go. Oh, here we are, kids. And there's what we got to replace. All right, once we get all these fat screws out here, you know, they put these screws in here, and I don't have a screwdriver this big, but you know, put screws where bolts should be and put bolts where screws should be. But why do you have to have a high voltage on something like this? Why couldn't you just use a regular bulb? I don't know. But anyway, so here this is this here. We'll go ahead and pull this out here, and I think what we'll do is just one hook it here. We'll have to fish this wire out, and we'll place that also. All right, well, let's see if we can get this unhooked. I apologize. Our mowing grass everywhere. Hopefully the mower won't start up over there. So there's that. And we'll fish this wire out through here like this. I mean, might as well replace the whole thing, right? Take this off here. And there's a little ground wire right here that we have to pop off. And hopefully I can get that off. I may have to get a pair of snips. Grab that. Get it off there. Yep. Let me get my snips. Try to grab it just a little bit better there. Alright, so there's that. Out with the old and in with the better, like I always say. Alright, so here's the new one. We'll have to unhook this and fish it back up through there. All the connectors look okay, look like the same. They look okay here, so we'll go ahead and we'll use the bulb that came with it. And he may be able to take this one back and save about $80. And perhaps I'll give him his money back. So let me switch this around. Well, I'll tell you, it's a lot easier just to grab in here and move these like this and like that. And take this bulb out. Versus when it's in the car, because it's hard to get your finger in here. So here's the $80 one he paid $80 for. We'll put the original one, well, we'll put everything in that came with this kit, and we'll hopefully get his money back out of that. So here is the original bulb that we had in here before. I wonder if this is still good. We may test this here in a little bit and see, but in the meantime, I'll go ahead and hook everything up here. The new stuff, make sure that was the problem with this, that the high voltage thing here was bad. Let's put all this in. All right, so it is what it is. That's all back on, and it sits up there like that, and all that. We got the original bulb in there with the kit. We'll go ahead and hook it up here real quick and see if it's going to work. All right, we'll just go ahead and hook up everything except for that one wire right there. That is for the parking light. I want to make sure everything's going to work here. Let's set the camera up. All right, everything's hooked up. Let's try it and see. I can see out of the corner here if it's going to work. Hey! Oh, what a relief. They both work. I think you can see that one over there. So, that was a problem. I didn't think it was a switch on the inside because it feels firm. Like this can make a headlight work, but this has got a lot of rust on them. They do go bad, so how about that? Yay! So at this point, I'll go ahead and start putting things back together and get the bumper back on it, and we'll wrap this video up. Hey, let me know where you're watching from right now. Oh, almost forgot. I wanted to see if the old light would still work. So let's go ahead and stick this in here and see if this is still good. So if it is good, we'll have an extra light and one he can take back and save $80. So let's check this out and see if it is good. All right, that's in. That's back in there. I'll get my fingers on there. All right, we got that set in there. Let's test this one out. Oh, it is good. I don't believe it. Wow, okay. Well, that'll be a bucket full of crickets. It is working. It is a good light. So we got a couple good lights. Yes. All right, let's put the original one back in that came with the kit. All right, so we got the original one back in that came with the kit. And voila. All right, now we can put it back together. Alright everyone, we are done, and just like that we have a nice headlight and we shouldn't have any problems. Everything is back together as good as it's going to get. Thank goodness for some zip ties. So until my next video guys, thanks for watching and I will see you later.